What's going on, everybody? So I wanted to do a really quick update on how the lawn is doing. I was out of town last week, so I don't really have any specific content for you guys. So I just wanted to run through the lawn, show you guys how the front yard's doing, show you how the Franken lawn is doing, and show you how my backyard is doing. And then I'm going to get into the giveaways, a little bit of the giveaways that I'm doing for 1,000 subscribers. I haven't hit that yet. I'm at currently around 940 subscribers. But anyway, I'll get into those things in a second. Just wanted to get into the front yard. The front yard's looking really good. It's never looked this good since we've lived here. It's got a super deep green. I'm extremely happy with how things are going, and I'm really looking forward to just how things look over the summer and when we get into the heat of things, because that'll tell me how strong those roots are and how deep they've driven to tell me, you know, just how resilient it is to the stresses of potential fungus and heat, stress, and all those types of things. But I mean, you can see it's really thick, and I've never had a lawn that's been this thick before. So I'm just extremely impressed and happy with how things are going this year. It just kind of tells me that all the hard work that I did, you know, last fall and last year is really starting to pay off right now. And like I said, I know everybody's lawn at this point in time in the year is going to be green, but there's just a difference in my lawn right now that I've never seen before. It's just so thick and really deep green, and I just know it's doing really well. So here's the Franken lawn. It's not quite, the Bermuda is not quite ready to be plugged. It is coming out of dormancy really well. I scalped this a couple weeks ago. I scalped it down to 1 inch. And last year I was mowing the Bermuda at about 2 inches. So this year what I'm going to try to do for the Bermuda is mow it at 1.5. So when I scalped it down to 1 inch, and then I'm going to mow it for the remainder of the year at 1.5 inches. And I think it'll be really good as long as I stay on top of my mowing when it's vigorously growing. But you can see, I mean, it's coming in really good. I mean, there's really not much else. Like I said before in previous videos, this is just some bluegrass. I'm gonna let it be for the time being. Eventually I'll probably kill that off because I want as much of this to be Bermuda, and I know this year will be a huge you know, a huge time for this Bermuda to just kind of take over this area. And for those of you who are new to the channel, what I'm planning on doing is plugging that Bermuda and filling in this bare spot where a tree used to be. So you can see this is coming in really well along the parkway. We've even had some pretty cool temperatures this spring, so I'm surprised it's actually this far to dormancy, but I'm pretty stoked about it. I think it's doing really well. I haven't put down really any fertilizer. All I've done is put some RGS and Humic 12 on this area, and it's greening up really well. And I'm pretty pumped about this whole Frankenstein lawn area. It's gonna look really cool. So now let's go off to the backyard, also known as the Beast. So the backyard's doing really well. I'll give you a little aerial shot from up on my deck. So again, the backyard, like I said, it's doing really well. It's never been this thick before since we've lived here, and it's just getting thicker. And I've only applied one application of fertilizer. I've applied my Humic 12 and RGS, but that's really all I've done. I haven't really applied much else. I've just been trying to stay on top of my mowing. And the backyard kind of came out of dormancy, or it woke up from winter a little slower than the front just because it's shadier back here and it doesn't get as much sunlight and things weren't as warm. The ground temperature wasn't as warm. But everything is looking really good. I mean, it's a deep dark green, and like I said, I know all the lawns are green at this point in time in the year, but I just feel the things that I've seen in my lawn in the past years, it's never looked this deep of a green. It's never really been this thick, and I'm really happy about things. Like I said, it just kind of shows you all the hard work that you're putting into the lawn is really paying off, and it's kind of exciting. I wanted to also mention my mowing heights on every area of my lawn is where it's going to be for the remainder of the year. So my backyard, I mow at 3 inches, and then my front yard, I mow at 3.5 inches. And then the Franken lawn, like I said, I'm gonna mow that at 1.5 inches. Those are just the heights of cut that I've found to be the optimum height of cut in each area of my lawn. And that's kind of something you'll have to do too when you are getting to know your land and getting to know which height of cut is going to work best in each area of your lawn. My front yard works best at 3.5, more so than my backyard, just because it gets way more sunlight up here and the grass doesn't have a tendency to lay down on itself, where in the backyard, if I mow that at 3 inches or 3.5 or 4 inches, it has a tendency to lay down on itself, and then we start to run into some issues. So it's just kind of part of learning your land, as Alan Hayne would say.